Hello, children. Welcome back. Today, you are welcome to the world of Michael Rosen. Michael Rosen, why? Because he's the poet of the next poem that we are going to read. The poem is titled Shivi. Before we understand the meaning of Shivi, we'll just know a little bit about the poet first. And he's created this wonderful world for little ones like you, the ones who like reading. He's written around 140 books. He belongs to United Kingdom and he is a very famous English children's author. He is also served as Children's Laureate from June 2007 to June 2009. He's also been a TV presenter and a political columnist. This is the author for you. Doesn't he look a little quirky and fun-loving to you? Same as the poem, just like him. The poem is quirky and about fun. Take a look at his books. Few of his books are here. This is his latest one. He's also got few videos on his YouTube channel. You can take a look at them as well. And I'll give you some latest information about Michael Rosen. He was hospitalized due to coronavirus. He was in ICU for 47 days and now he's recovering slowly and steadily and he's returned to Twitter now. He was born in 1946. So he's 74 years of age now. He's got his Twitter page, he's got his YouTube page, channel, and you can follow and read his latest books as well. Now let's move on to the poem. When Michael was 5 years old, Michael the poet, his mother took him to a nearby school for admission. The teacher asked, "What does your mother call you at home?" "Michael, don't," came the confident reply. Why do you think the poet would have said Michael, don't instead of just saying Michael? Because I'm sure his mother would have instructed him not to do lots of things. So when your mother says, don't do this, don't do that, don't do this, don't do that, and that don't is followed by your name, what does your name become? Your name becomes so-and-so don't. So maybe Michael was very naughty and his mother had to constantly tell him, Michael, don't, Michael, don't. And that's what Michael remembered. He remembered that his mother would just call him what? Michael, don't. So this poem is about that Michael don't feeling. The word Shivi means to continuously nag someone. Now what is nagging? Nagging is when you keep saying the same thing over and over and over again. But why does anybody have to nag? Because you don't listen at the first time or the second time or the third time. If you'll react to what is being said, maybe somebody will not nag. But when we don't react, the other person will keep saying. In the morning, mother would say, get up, come on, get up and brush your teeth. Come on, get up and brush your teeth, come on. So what is that? That is nagging. Nagging is when you continuously urge someone to do something and often in a very annoying way. Okay, that is Shivi. Shivi is continuous nagging in an annoying way. Now let's see what kind of nagging you children have to go through. Grown-ups say things like, speak up. Don't talk with your mouth full. Don't stare. Don't point. Don't pick your nose. Sit up, say please, less noise. Shut the door behind you. Don't drag your feet. Haven't you got a hanky? Take your hands out of your pocket. Pull your socks up. Stand up straight. Say thank you. Don't interrupt. Can't you make up your mind about anything? That's what the grown-ups tell you all the time. So many things. You saw the child in the video? Too many instructions. So when you are constantly given these instructions, it is Shivi. So look at the poem. It does not have a rhyming scheme. It is more of a conversational poem, a narrative poem. Grown-ups say things like, speak up, don't talk with your mouth full, don't stare, don't point, don't pick your nose. Sit up, say please, less noise, shut the door behind you, Don't drag your feet. Haven't you got a hanky? Take your hands out of your pocket. Now, when will the grown up have to say, speak up? When you are asked something or you are questioned and you don't give an answer. For example, the teacher in the class says, tell me, what was happening in the class? And you are quiet because you've been naughty. So ma'am would say, speak up, come on. So that is what grown-ups say. That is when grown-ups say, speak up. When will they say, don't talk with your mouth full? When you are on a table and you are eating and you are still talking. Why would they say that? Because it looks gross. The person sitting across you does not want to see what the chewing machine, what your teeth are doing inside your mouth. Yeah? Don't stare. Why shouldn't one stare? Because staring at someone is rude. You should not be doing that. The other person may feel conscious. The other person may not like it. You should never stare. Don't point. The same rule, if you point at someone, the other person may not like it, may not be comfortable with it. Don't pick your nose. Oh my God, it is gross, right? You should not be doing that. Sit up. Why sit up? Because sitting in the wrong posture is going to spoil your body frame. Say please, because you should always be courteous. I'm sure you all know what the magic words are. Please, thank you, sorry. So say please. Less noise. When you'll make so much of noise, the grown-ups ought to say less noise. Shut the door behind you. Yeah, you should always shut the door behind you. You can't be leaving the doors open all the time, right? Don't drag your feet. Dragging your feet shows that you're very lethargic and laid back in your life. Would you want anyone to think that about you? No. So you would not drag your feet. When you're coming to the assembly, half the time your teachers are telling you, don't drag your feet, hands behind your back. That's exactly what this is about. Haven't you got a hanky? So when you want to clean your hands, you want to clean your face, you're rubbing your hands on your pants and your shirt. So shabby. So the grown-ups will say, haven't you got a hanky? Take your hands out of your pocket. Why should you not keep your hands in your pocket? Because it shows bad body language. When someone elder to you is speaking to you, you should never keep your hands in your pocket. Right? Pull up your socks. Crumpled socks show that you don't give any attention to your appearance. If you give attention to your appearance, you will always be in trim and proper uniform, sparkling white shirt and socks pulled up. So you should always keep your socks straight up. Stand up straight. Slouching. When you slouch and you don't stand up straight, you are again ruining your body language. So when you stand up straight, you show that you have a good personality. Right? So what will we do? We'll stand up straight. Say thank you. Again, you got to be courteous. Don't interrupt. When will the grown-ups say don't interrupt? When they are talking about something important and you are disturbing. When you're talking in between and you don't realize that the grown-ups are talking about something that is essential and you need not interrupt them. No one thinks you are funny. When will the grown-ups say that? When you are being scolded for a solid reason, something that you've done really wrong, and you try to crack a joke. You try to be funny. You try to lighten the environment. And your mom says, don't you think you are funny? No, not at all. You've got to take me seriously. Don't try to be funny. Take your elbows off the table. Part of table manners. If you're sitting and eating on the table, you'll never keep your elbows on the table. Now take a look at the last two lines. Can't you make your mind up about anything? You guys are little children, right? Is it okay to expect you to make up your mind? Okay, all these instructions in the poem so far, do you think they are okay? I guess so. They are for your own benefit, maybe your body posture, your habits, your personality, everything. But if I tell you to make up your mind about everything today, will you be able to do that? Gotta be a little difficult, yeah? You're in 7th. You still have to choose your career. You still have to worry about a lot of things in life. And so many things will change. You probably won't be able to make up your mind about everything, right? So these two lines, your opinion matters. You will tell me that can you make up your mind about everything today? No. But can you make up your mind about some things? Yes. For example, you go to the chocolate shop and you say, I want this, I want this, I want this, I want this. So you can't be having all. So your mom will say, can't you make up your mind about anything? Make up your mind. Which one do you want? You go to a toy shop, you say, I want this, I want this, I want this, I want this. Yeah, I want all of them. So your mom's going to say, can't you make up your mind about anything? Yes. Smaller decisions, you can do them. You should make up your mind about the smaller things that you have in life. But yes, we cannot expect you to make up your mind about everything. Yeah? I hope you had good fun listening to the poem, understanding the poem, and the rest of the question answers. There are not really any new words in the poem. It's a very straight and fun filled poem, just meant for your enjoyment. And why do you think it is in your text? To tell you, yes, these things are important, but also to lighten your burden. There's someone who understands you, right? Don't you think the poet understands you? How you feel when you are being nagged upon or when people chivvy you? So if you don't want to be nagged upon, you don't want anyone to chivvy, what do? You do what you are told. If you will not do it, then someone will turn around and say it again and again and again, and you'll not like it. Alright? So, have fun reading the poem. Let's discuss in the group now. Thank you, class.